Hello folks, welcome back to the studio for another look at our favourite items of 2024. This time our list is leather motorcycle jackets, and it is quite a big list. So I'm going to speed through the options that we have, but we have full reviews. You can find those using the links in the description. We should have something to cater for whatever your taste may be. Let's begin. Our first jacket comes from the British brand Merlin, and it's a new entry for them. It's the MERLIN TORSTEN. This is available for £380 as of the making of this video, and it comes in either black or brown. It's got quite a simple look, quite a simple shape to it, but it has got some nice extra details as well, such as quilting on your shoulders, for example. But the big USP to this one is how well it fares in hot weather, which is a good thing because it's a really hot day, and I've been dying to say that because the summer has been a long time coming, but it's not so great when you're in a warm studio. So if I look like I'm melting, that will be the reason. The reason this jacket copes so well in the summer is that it has a UV resistant coating, such as you will find on a lot of vehicular interiors as well. The leather is a 1.1 to 1.2 millimeter thick cowhide leather, and it has a TFL Cooltech treatment to it, which means that it reflects up to 70% of the sun's UV rays, which should mean that in theory it offers a temperature reduction of around 25 degrees Celsius. Now 25 degrees Celsius difference is quite a bold claim. I would table that for a moment, but I will say that it definitely does work in some capacity, and it will feel a lot cooler on a hot day in the summer. And on those hot days, you'll take any kind of reduction in temperature you can get your hands on. On top of that, it's not the heaviest of leather jackets either. Obviously 1.1, 1.2 millimeter thick leather isn't that thick in comparison to some of the other jackets that I'll show you. So it is relatively lightweight, and it has vents at your chest there, as you can see, using these zips to open them up. And it's got exhaust vents on the reverse around your ribs in your lower back. It also has perforations down the length of your arm. So really, ventilation is quite a big strength of this one. And the other things to be aware of are that it comes with D3O level 1 armor in your shoulders and your elbows, pocket for a back protector but not included. Although actually none of the leather jackets I show you today have a back protector included, but they all have pockets for them. And this one has also achieved a CE AAA certification, which is great. When it comes to sizing tips for any of the jackets on our list, in actual fact, double check our size guide on the website. That's the most up-to-date place to check. I will also say this has proven very popular for us, which is great to see because it means obviously the customers like it, but it also means that we've got limited stock of the brown color for the moment. We will get more in the future. We've got great stock of the black options, but it's just something to be aware of. Next up, we have another option from Merlin. This is the MERLIN KINGSBURY. It's £300 and it comes in the black colorway you can see here. Obviously quite different in style from the TORSTEN. To me, this puts me in mind of classic leather jackets from the 1950s and 60s. You've got a collar there that obviously fastens down as well. Useful with motorcycle collars, so they're not flapping around in the breeze or hitting your helmet. No quilting or anything like that. It really is quite a simple design. Quite large panels on this one, which actually could be a selling point to some people. Again, this achieves a CE safety rating of AAA, which is always great to see. Somewhat expected from leather jackets because they are a little bit thicker. On that point, this is 1.4 to 1.5 millimeter thick, full grain drum rolled leather. And it is noticeably thicker than the TORSTEN. I would also say that the big USP to this one is that it is the most affordable leather jacket I will show you here today, which is impressive. £300 for a leather jacket really is very good. The only thing on this one that I'm not necessarily in love with is quite how stiff it is when you first get it. It will soften over time. The longer you own it, that will definitely become more comfortable. But if you do like this style, just park that for a moment. I will show you something a little bit later on that is a lot softer than this one, but looks very similar. Other key points on this one are that you get D3O level 1 armor in your arms again, so your elbows and your shoulders. And again, you have a removable internal liner if you want to take that out. Love how simple this jacket is. Definitely love the price. Great choice. Check it out if you want to. Moving on. Next up, we have arguably the most premium leather jacket I will show you today, and that would be the new BELSTAFF Vanguard. At the time of making this video, the Vanguard has a price of £895, which is the most expensive leather jacket I will show you today. But it's not the most expensive BELSTAFF leather jacket. They do hold a higher price tag, and I'll give you a moment to register your indignation in the comment section down below if you do find that offensive. And believe me, I understand. This genuinely is one of my favorite options I will show you today, but I do understand it is a pricey ask. However, the quality of finish is higher. It's above what you'd come to expect from a lot of other leather jackets on the market. It's not going to be for everyone, but it is reassuring to know that when you get a jacket like this, the fit, the feel, the quality of the materials they use is high. This has a CE rating of AA. It comes complete with D3O armor, again in your elbows and your shoulders, with a pocket for a back protector if you want to get one. It uses calf leather with a natural wax coating. There aren't too many eye-catching details across this, like quilting, for example, and I quite like that. I like the fact that it is quite a simple shape and design, especially these shoulders. The fact that they taper down just makes you look a little bit broader, and it is quite flattering as far as shapes go. But you have also got some extra stretch sections at your arms, around your ribs as well, to increase your freedom of movement. For me, the two USPs here are the quality of finish, but also the lightness. Actually, this is probably joint lightest leather jacket I will show you today. There is another one later on, but the quality of finish on that one definitely isn't the same standard as this, but it is similar in terms of its weight. Continuing the very British theme so far, we have the GOLDTOP 1958. Available for £399, and you can get it in either black or brown. Now, previously when I mentioned the MERLIN KINGSBURY and said we had one that was a similar style, especially obviously in the black, this is the jacket I was referring to. So again, you've got that lovely 1950s, 1960s style. You have a collar again on this one, although this time you can't actually fasten that down. And it's a good one to follow up from the BELSTAFF actually. When we're talking about a premium finish, this is similar kind of premium materials and premium finish, nice kind of feel to it, but it is more affordable, obviously at £399. So in my opinion, it offers great value for money. And that's not limited to this style either. Actually, GOLDTOP have a plethora of other styles that you can choose from that have similar quality levels of finish. They use the same kind of leather as well. And that is a 1.4mm thick aniline cowhide leather. And actually, I'd say the biggest USP to a GOLDTOP jacket is how instantly soft, flexible, and comfortable they are. A couple of extra features to mention are that it uses ONYX Microlock Level 1 armor actually in your elbows and your shoulders, which for me is slightly more preferable than D3O, although D3O is still good. But the armor pocket for the back armor also allows for ONYX armor, which is more extensive than you'll find with the D3O back protectors. And this also has a CE AAA certification. And the last USB to mention with this jacket is the very eye-catching quilted gold liner on the inside, which is a signature of GOLDTOP and looks very nice. Next up, we have what is still actually quite a new brand to us. This is the BROGER Ohio. These have a price of £350, and you can either get them in black or vintage brown. Now, I have to admit, when we first got the BROGER Ohio in, I wasn't initially that impressed by it. It is a nice jacket, but it didn't really stand out to me. However, quite a few of my colleagues actually did like this, and over time, I would say it has grown on me. Now, you can still see there is an improvement on quality, let's say, with the likes of GOLDTOP or BELSTAFF. But this is £350. That's a really good price for a leather jacket, and it still does have a decent quality of finish. It uses cowhide leather that actually is really quite soft to the touch, and I do like this vintage brown actually. It's got a really nice worn-in look and effect to it without looking too artificial. It uses SASTEC armor, which actually I think is level 2 in the arm, so that's another USP to this one. It has thicker armor on your elbows and your shoulders, and it has a CE AA certification. And the last USP for me, besides the fact that it is quite unique looking in comparison to the other styles that I've shown you so far, especially with the asymmetric zip on the front there, which does make it stand out from the crowd, is the fact that this is one of the lightest jackets I'll show you. I mentioned earlier with the BELSTAFF that was joint lightest. I'd say this is not far off in terms of lightness of feel. Next, we have the second of our best options for summer riding. This would be the John Doe Storm, coming in at £339, available in either black or grey. Let's start with the fact that it is a competitive price for a leather jacket. And then let's point out the biggest USP to this one, which is the amount of ventilation. That is its biggest selling point. You've got loads of perforations on the front there, all the way down the front, all the way down your arm. So it is going to be the most breathable. So that's why I say it's a great option for the summer. Similar to the TORSTEN, which obviously also has perforations, but in my opinion, the TORSTEN probably is the slightly better pick just because of that UV reflective treatment that it's had. But that's to take nothing away from how good the John Doe Storm actually is. It uses 1.1 to 1.3 millimeter thick cowhide leather. It also has a CE AAA certification, and it has level 1 armor in your elbows and your shoulders. And it's great to see another option for color as opposed to the standard black or brown. The gray option on this does look really good in the flesh. Last up, we have a leather jacket that we're actually quite proud of ourselves because this is our own design in collaboration with Merlin. This is the Urban Rider ONYX leather jacket from the ONYX collection. They have a price of £350 and they come in the black colorway you can see here, which includes all of the metal details across this one. We wanted it to be particularly stealthy so that it goes with whatever bike you might happen to have. And that also goes for the neutral styling overall on this jacket. We haven't gone for too many standout details across it. A little bit of light quilting across the shoulders, although not diamond stitching, so it is subtle and it blends in. There's a pleat around your shoulders for extra mobility, and as far as logos go, we didn't want to plaster this in Urban Rider logos, so we've been quite discreet about that as well. We have an embossed logo on the hem. These have a CE safety rating of AA, and they come complete with D3O level 1 armor in your elbows and your shoulders. USPs for me on this design are first and foremost actually the length of it. So it's quite a particular thing to get right, and I know Will went back and forth with the designs trying to make this the right length. So actually I would say this caters towards a slightly taller rider because it is slightly longer than you'll find with the other designs that I've shown you where they are slightly shorter. The GOLDTOP's a good example where there is a fairly cropped design. So if you are a little bit taller, you're definitely going to appreciate that. And it's also, I'm going to say, the thickest jacket I'll show you here today, which means that it's pretty versatile as far as riding season, and it's going to work for the majority of UK riding conditions. Now obviously I've shown you some great options for the summer. This wouldn't be my top pick for a summer riding condition. It's got a bit of venting here, a bit of perforation under your arm. You've got vents on your chest there as well, exhaust vents around your ribs, but it is relatively thick. It's 1.3 millimeter thick cowhide leather, and you have a removable internal liner on this one, which extends that riding season. So in the winter, you can include that and make yourself a little bit warmer. It's a pretty simple, neutral, timeless design. Obviously, we want to make sure that it goes with the majority of bikes out there, so it doesn't really matter what you're riding or when you're riding it. And those are our favorite leather motorcycle jackets for 2024. Quite an extensive list, but we have got more designs as well available on the Urban Rider website. You can find links to our website in the description. Let us know any of your favorites in the comment section, and I'll see you soon. Bye.